Hi class, I am coming to you from our classroom. Normally we would be meeting here tomorrow, but because of all that is going on with the COVID-19 pandemic, our building is closed and we will not be having classes for the foreseeable time, which is unfortunate and sad. Many of you have put in lots of hard work over the past uh, almost a year, semester and a half, and I was looking forward to getting back in the classroom with you. Currently, uh, my hope is to start making videos so that we can continue doing class together uh, over the internet. It's going to look a little different, I know, um, but it is a solution that if you are wanting to continue our English lessons together, and if you have time to do that, this will be a way for me to kind of walk you through the lessons together. I will probably go lesson by lesson, maybe break some of the lessons in two, and we'll just move slowly through the material until we know what's going to come in the future, which we don't know at the moment. Um, but we don't have to fear that. Uh, um, we are in this together, and we know that this will end, and we can only do what we can do. We only have so much in our control, and so if we take care of what we have in our control, hopefully we will be okay. Um, I do want to say before we start two things. One, I would love to hear from you. Tell me how you are doing. Tell me how life is going with helping your kids do school, and just if you have any needs. Uh, my family, we are doing well, and we are glad that this week there won't be much rain, so that we can get outside and play in our yard, and keeping our physical distance from people, but otherwise being able to get outside and run off some energy. It's been a hard week being inside a lot, not being able to get out because of all the rain, but we're looking forward to that. I should also mention that I'm not going to mention the name of our curriculum, the name of your book. I will just reference page numbers, and I will be exploring with different ways to do some of the listening activities. We may be able to do some of that, but for anyone listening, I do not own the copyrights to this material, and I'm not trying to make a profit off of this material. My intent for using these videos is so that we can continue to learn and practice our English in a unique time where we cannot gather together as a class face to face. And so hopefully these videos will be a way for us to continue together, meeting and learning, using the material, not for financial gain, but for our own learning purposes. So I hope these videos will be a blessing to you, a help to you, and as I get better at doing this, hopefully the videos will get better, and I will figure out how I will learn better how to do this. In a few minutes, we'll get started, and we're going to start with Unit 8 and talk about the first lesson in Unit 8 for a little bit. Okay, so the last time we were together, we took a Unit 7 test, which I plan to grade, uh, and I will mail those to you. I have your addresses from registration, and I will try to get those to you by the end of the week. So that means we're going to start with Unit 8 today. And Unit 8 is about work. I know many of you have had jobs either in this country or in your own country. Some of our unit goals with with our unit on work, is to identify problems at work and at school. So by problems, we mean when things don't go the way we want them to, when we have broken relationship with either our boss or someone we work with or another student. And so what are some of the problems, or another word would be conflict, that we might have when we are in a work situation or in our school situation? Um, for instance, what if you were a employee, you worked for someone, and then someone else you worked with was always late, uh, and you had to do all their work because they were always late. That would be an example of a problem at work. And we're going to talk about how to identify different problems at work and find solutions or answers to those problems. Um, the second goal is to provide solutions and identify consequences to those solutions. So we're going to think about how we're going to identify conflicts, and then we're going to try to come up with or think about answers or solutions to those conflicts, and think about, if I do this answer, it will have this kind of effect on my work situation. Or if I do this one, it will have a different set of consequences. For instance, with the problem with the person who is always late, if you went to talk to them directly, that is one possible solution. And there are several consequences or results that might happen because of that possible solution, that possible answer. That person might get very angry. That person might try to do something to you, or that person might listen to you and respond positively or in a good way. Another possible solution is that instead of talking to your coworker, you talk to your boss, and then there are consequences or results that happen because you talk to your boss instead of the person you are working, your coworker, or your person you are working with. For instance, if you talk to your boss instead of the coworker about the problem, then the coworker may get angry. The boss might not want to deal with the problem, or the boss might fire the person. So depending on the solution, there are different effects or consequences that might have happen because of the choice you make. And so in this unit, we're going to talk about what are the problems, what are some possible solutions, possible answers to those problems, and then think about some of the consequences that might happen if we do some of those answers or solutions. And then finally, we're going to talk about hard and soft skills, which has been a little bit of a difficult or a tricky concept or idea for our students to think about in the past. Hard skills are skills that we are able to do that that we can be trained or taught very easily. So if we are a cook, it is a hard skill would be how to chop vegetables or how to cook pasta. Those are very those are skills that have very defined or very concrete ideas. Like to cook pasta, you put pasta in the bowl, you bring water to you put pasta in a pot, you put water to a boil for 10 minutes, and then maybe a little salt, and then you know how to do it, right? That may or may not be the correct way to cook pasta, but that's just an example. Or building houses, there's only a few ways you can do that, and there are laws about how you should do that. And so if you learn the laws, then you can build the house. And so those are types of hard skills, where how to hammer, how to cut and measure boards. Those would be examples of hard skills. Soft skills, on the other hand, are not skills that we necessarily are able to be taught, and they are not physical skills like chopping vegetables or building a house or how to package salad or clean a chicken. Soft skills are more about relational skills. So, how I connect to other people, how I treat other people, um, and also some of my values, what I think are important. So an example of a soft skill is someone who knows how to listen well. They value the other person, and they they have already in them the desire, the ability, um, that they want to do that, and it's not something they are necessarily go to school to learn how to do. Um, so listening well to others, um, a good work ethic. So someone who works really hard and does does not is not lazy, does not take many breaks, who is honest, who is comes to work on time. Those are examples of a good work ethic. We'll talk about work ethic later, but just as an example of what a good soft skill is: someone who listens well, who works hard, um, who treats others kindly, who is able to understand maybe or be able to think about what someone else might be feeling in a certain situation. That's another example of a soft skill. And as we go throughout the unit, we will talk more and learn more about what soft skills are. So let's turn to page 96 uh, um, and begin. And I want you to take 5 or so minutes, and I want you to make a list of things you see, things you observe in the picture. And after 5 or so minutes, um, well, let me say this. Uh, in a minute, I want you to pause the video and make a list of make a list of things you see in the pictures for about 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, I'll come back, unpause the video, and then we'll come together and I'll list some of the things that I observe or I think that are important about the video or about the picture. So now I want you to pause the video, and after you had a moment to uh, make a list, turn the video back on. So please pause now.